everybody. Welcome back to the Unglamorous Truths podcast, where we talk about making it in the business come hell or high water. I am Crystal.
I'm Chandra.
I'm a Mebit.
And today, we have a very, very special guest.
Yes.
Okay. We have a powerhouse in the studio today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please.
She's a dynamic, award-winning actress. You know, you might have seen her on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Young Sheldon, or heard her voicing parts on Nickelodeon's Baby Shark or Apple TV's Interrupting Chicken. And she's also a writer and the co-creator of #Booked.
Hey.
Okay. A groundbreaking online series examining the joys and misfortunes of being an actress of color in the entertainment industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome LaNisa Frederick on the show.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited to have
We about to
you.
kiki.
Okay, girl.
Yes.
Let's. I mean, we are huge fans. Like, I feel like #Booked it is the prototype for talking about the realness, like the unglamorousness of the industry.
Yes.
So y'all have really set the
I feel like
the stage.
that was and not even just black actors, not everybody, but like definitely for sure for black actresses. Like the videos would just be circulating, like, oh my god, have you seen this?
Yes. Relatable.
I was like,
Oh my God, have you
finally
seen
someone is talking about it.
And we had no idea. We were just like, one day was like, we should do this.
Yeah,
And then it blew up.
Yes.
My
'Cause
person-
you exposed like the real, like, 10 pages due by tomorrow?
Sure.
Whereas all of us privately crying,
Yes,
weeping.
yes.
But also feeling like, I guess this is just normal.
Right.
Right.
Everyone's
Everybody
doing
else
it.
is doing it.
I'm the loser that
I'm
can't
not
figure
feeling-
it out.
Right. I'm crazy. Right?
No,
Yeah.
but y'all expose the craze, and I love that. And y'all also bring the craze.
Yes.
Okay? Because my favorite sketch is that Handmaid's Tale
Oh my
in the
God.
audition room when y'all are doing Meisner back and forth to each other.
No, the one you recently just did of the, you gonna rob me?
Yes,
you
the
robbing me?
Meisner. A lot of
You
Meisner
robbing me?
happening.
I love Meisner. Clearly, I'm Meisner
No,
trained.
you're good.
Gang, gang.
Right.
You're
Meisner
great.
trained.
Okay, 'cause I
Classically
was like,
trained.
I didn't know you could say that line.
Right, yeah.
All them different ways, but you really took it there.
I was like, let me show my whole aura. Let me show
Range.
my whole range.
but that's
what I
really
can
what they be
do.
looking for too. It be one co-star. That's your line. And they want you to come out here,
You like,
guns blazing.
it's one line, yo.
Like,
Right. Or
what?
sometimes you see some stuff and you really, like, I just think to myself, I'm like, wow, hundreds of people really had to audition for that.
Facts.
To come on there and be like, hello, no.
That's
We don't have cheese.
You saw hundreds
don't
of
have
people.
right.
Yes.
And you be overanalyzing yourself. Like, did I do it right?
No,
What
wait,
else could I
y'all.
have done?
This just reminds me. My first co-star job on Jane the Virgin. At the audition, it was just like, "Here's your water." Right, and I was like, oh, when I show up, they're gonna give me the rest of the script.
Oh, you thought you were like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah, that was just the
She was in
audition.
that trailer
Wait,
waiting.
I was in the trailer like, there's some pages
Talking
missing.
to the second AD, excuse me, I don't have the full script.
I don't have the full. Y'all
I mean, I
omitted.
can't improv, so I
Yeah.
ain't trying to get it on the spot. It was
Right,
maybe the
because you
gist,
said co-star.
but,
Right, right.
So I'm co-starring.
Co-starring. It's me and Gina Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Here's your water.
You were ready too. Like, I'm about to have all these lines.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, it was just they kept it cute for the audition, but we
Yes.
really gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Facts. It's,
No.
it's wild. It's
I'm gonna
so
be here all
crazy.
day, so
Yeah. No, it's just, it's crazy. If the industry is nuts, and we got to talk about it. So, but before we do that, we're going to do a little kickoff question.
Love it.
Because I heard that somebody plays the flute in here.
Yes.
Okay.
A marching band, 13 years.
Okay, girl.
Thank you.
Yes.
Flutes all day.
So,
I still pull it out every once in a while.
yes. So our kickoff question today is, what is your favorite song title on the Andre 3000 new flute album?
First of all, that album is fire.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I love it.
I'm
and I
into
got my
it.
cheat sheet. 'Cause
Okay,
you know
fantastic.
them titles long.
You know, them
as hell.
titles,
Yeah,
well, that's
really
why I
long.
asked.
Oh, I
Because Andre made us laugh. And he explained in the interview that he wanted, to be, he was like, I know everyone thinks I'm up here and esoteric with the music. So I wanted to bring it back down to real life with the
And
titles.
he did.
and y'all were looking for the bars, and that's where they were.
Okay,
Exactly.
in the title.
That's
That's
where
what
they
they
were.
were. Exactly.
Well, mine is the shortest one and the easiest to remember.
Which one?
Gods to You, Ants to Who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's my favorite song. I
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
song
That's a
so
good one.
much.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love that title. It's
For
just
sure.
everything.
It's
like, yes, so
relative.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Relative.
Yeah.
Relative. Yeah. Mine is that night in Hawaii when I turned
Yeah.
into a panther and
on.
started making these low register purring tones. Oh, I can't purr, guys. What?
Oh, that's cute. That's good. That was good.
I was like, wait, I'm coughing. That I couldn't control. Shit was wild. I think that title is dope because he explains this. I mean, I fucked with it already,
Right.
but he explained it as taking a trip, like ayahuasca, shrooms, and he was just on some wild shit.
Love it.
And I can relate. I, too, take trips, and I have had wild experiences.
I'm gonna need you to read them all because I really like your
Ooh,
delivery.
okay.
Audible, call my girl.
I got
because
you. Okay.
some gigs.
There's
on.
also, well,
yeah,
hold on.
everybody do
Let's
this.
do yours first. and I'll
Okay,
read the
I got
rest.
it. I got it. I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. The first one. That's a long ass title. And I swear.
A long ass song.
It's 12, 13 minutes?
Yep.
And
Yes,
I was
it was
jamming
long.
to it too. Like, it's actually good writing music. Because I can't like listen to like actual lyrics when I'm writing.
Don't stop. No, that's not.
Don't stop getting that ain't me.
Yeah.
So listening to that, I was like, oh, I can actually write with this.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
weird 'cause I
Facts.
used to be able to write to things with lyrics when I was younger, but now
What
if I'm hearing
happened?
words, I don't know. But yeah, a thing
Yeah.
flipped. If I'm hearing words, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm so distracted.
Right.
Like what? But it's
Same.
probably now because everybody has.
Yeah, I've
ADD.
become the lyric police as well.
Yes.
Like, because I do music all throughout my house on Alexa. So you're not going to tell me to shut the fuck up and suck your dick in my house in surround sound. That's just not
Come
going to
on.
happen. So I'm Alexa, skip. Who is he talking to?
We're not doing that.
And then,
Personal,
and
we're
then
not
it just
doing-
goes to ambient sounds only.
Yeah, you're taking it personal. Like,
No, it's my home. I pay the rent here.
Exactly.
Okay?
Alexa, not you.
So crazy. What's your song?
90 to Infinity and Beyonce.
That's cute.
yeah,
That makes sense.
It just and Beyonce, okay, of course. And I did go back and was like, did she have anything to do with this? No, of course
No.
not.
But he did ask for permission. He said he had
say
to
her
clear
name?
it from her and Jay to
And Jay.
I don't know what that was about.
Respect.
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
respect.
He asked.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that makes sense as a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they say yes. They're like, go
go ahead.
Go forth and use my name.
Beyonce.
Because it's trademark. So
It is.
Hey,
Okay, make that money. So yeah, I'm not gonna read all the songs, but one of my other favorite ones is Gandhi, Dalai Lama, Your Lord and Savior, JC, Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy.
That's deep, yo.
Bars.
Okay.
That's deep.
Yeah. Cast me. Okay, fantastic.
Hashtag booked. Okay,
Yes,
great.
hashtag booked. We're booked.
Yeah.
So LaNisa, let's jump in. So
Let's go.
where did you train as an actor? And just give us
Going
an
there.
origin story. Yeah.
origin
And did you enjoy your conservatory experience? Like, what was your vibe with?
Oh, that's
with
deep that you asked that. 'Cause I
Yeah.
was just talking to somebody about
Okay.
going to a PWI,
Ooh,
a predominantly white institution.
as we did.
Yes. I'm from Ohio. Chicago is like home, though, because that's where I got grown. That's where you I got my scruples.
ahead,
I
gang,
learned
gang.
a lot. Gang, gang, Chicago. Chicago run deep here, too.
We
Yes.
must.
We run deep.
Yes.
My friend was
Yes.
like, do y'all like take over Hollywood? We're like, we do.
Yeah.
It's
We
Chicago
do.
and Harvard sometimes at the
mean,
same time.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's just more. The gang is getting larger and larger. Midwest Mafia out here.
It really is. We don't play. And some of the best training, I feel, just because of the theater there. I was a theater girly. Went to Loyola for my undergrad. And then after then, I was doing like storefront theater there in Chicago. So getting paid in pizza and pasta, which was, real cute. Then I got bored and was like, I think I want to go to grad school. And I went to like the ERDAs, like the grad school auditions, and I was auditioning for Juilliard because I felt that's what you were supposed to do. Sat there, I had a call back, and I was like, well, I don't know what to do. Hanging out. And this lady from this school in England was like, hey, well, you want to come inside and talk to us? And I was like, okay, I've never been to England. She literally was like, yo, here's all the stuff about our school in England. It's a 1-year master's program. It's cheaper than all these other schools. And I called my mom and I was like, yo, I'm about to go to England and audition for this grad school. She was like, okay, that's my daughter. So I got on a flight. And I'll never forget, my flight cost $250.
Oh,
that's how long it was.
wow.
I know, right? I was like,
Round
dang,
trip?
round trip, sis.
Wow.
Damn.
That
Rest
is
in peace, good flight
Right.
prices.
Right.
Yeah. Another day.
I know.
And how was training in England?
It was good. So part of the reason why I wanted to go is because I didn't feel like from my PWI in Chicago, I got enough. I protested my last year and refused to do any work because I said, I have been here as the sole Black theater major for 4 years. Y'all have never introduced me to anything of color.
Yes.
You ain't never, I had to dig for August. I had to dig for Hansberry. So the fact that y'all have taken my money for 4 years, and that year they did a show and they wanted me to play the maid again.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't. And I remember, and I was in my Black Panther phase. Like, I was literally running around campus with my Black Panther hat on. People were like, who is this militant theater major? I was like, what's up?
Right.
Yeah.
But I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I will never forget, a lot of the white students were like, I mean, it's a great role for you, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, that my freshman year, I was still holding on to the fact that we did Crucible. I wanted to be Abigail.
Yes.
Hi, Tituba.
Exactly. Hey, girl.
I really wanted to be Abigail. I was like, I could be Abigail. Why not? Literally walked in those auditions. They only let me read for Tituba.
Yep.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we're in the line because it was like a group audition. All the little white girl got to read for everything else. I was like, oh, so we can't.
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, let me try. I'm from Ohio, so everything's nice. Everything's nice. So I did it. But by my senior year, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, I refuse to be your token anymore. I paid you enough money.
Yeah.
You owe me this. So they did bring in a Black director. Okay. That's how bad it was that they were like, well, we got to find somebody. Brought in a Black director. We did Crumbs from the Table of Joy by Lynn Nottage. Still always my heart.
Yes.
And they had to find other theater
I was about to
minors.
say, where they get the people?
They had to find theater minors and communication minors. They like... They went through it in order to find people because it was me. I was the only theater major.
Yeah.
So a lot of that taught me resilience because what I realized is that everybody else, they had a hand up. They were given the Abigails. They were given like, oh, we're doing this. Versus me, I was fighting for stuff. So when it was time to audition, I was the only one really booking stuff at the time. I was the only one actually still in it. And I was like, oh, that's what. Okay, cool. It taught me that.
And it also taught you how to create your own opportunities.
Exactly. Because I was like, I can't sit here and wait for y'all. Y'all have me, I'll just wait for the maid, girl.
Yeah.
Wait for the maid.
Absolutely.
Right.
Waiting for the maid.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for the maid.
Okay.
I know,
That's
right?
something.
Write that down.
That might be a book. Yeah. I mean, we have a similar experience. We got out from NYU and we started auditioning and we were like, oh, it's crackhead number 2.
Facts.
And I was going out for some weird banjo job. They wanted a Black country banjo girl. I don't know what's going on. So I was just like, oh, we're not even in this century with it. So like, yeah, we just got to make our own way. So
you got to make your own way.
Yep, we feel it. What would you say is your first core memory of the industry once you're out, right? Like the industry not being exactly what you expected it to be. Or did school prepare you for making your own way? So you were like, once you graduated, you were like, I'm ready to create my own opportunities.
School did not prepare me for that at all.
Yes.
I feel like... That's a good question. That's a hard one. I feel like there are several things. I was very fortunate that in Chicago, I became part of a Black theater company. And I learned a lot from that because they were like, ooh, sis, you were white trained. Yeah. You were, I couldn't find me. I couldn't find me because they had, scraped all of that out because I was sounding too Black in class. And I was like... Well, why can't she be Black too?
Oh yeah. They told me in Voice and Speech that I was only gonna play young mothers.
Yeah,
and I was like,
but
what?
Cool.
Okay, got you.
Cool.
Got you.
Same thing. It's and I remember not knowing my voice for years, and I'm very blessed though that I did have a voice teacher, Kate Devereaux, if I'm remembering her last name correctly, because I went to school at Steppenwolf a few years later after that, that was like, girl, those are all your voices.
Right.
All of them are yours.
Right.
The ones where you code switch, the ones where you talk like your cousins when you go home, the ones where you just talking to your bestie, when you talk to your mom, when you're talking corporate, they're all yours.
Right.
How dare you try to get rid of any of them? And I was like, oh.
I love that.
I wish they always taught us with that spirit of just how to be expansive instead of how to remove
Limiting.
Standard American.
stripping pieces of
Stripping.
you. Like,
Yes.
look, we're just adding to the toolbox. We're just
Yes.
adding
Yeah,
here. Okay?
there was no adding.
Hey, don't let anybody tell you won't need a French accent.
Right.
Hey, they got black people over there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of
Exactly.
it just being like, yeah, you sound like a hood booger. Let's go ahead and remove that.
Yeah,
You know?
So it
yeah.
could be a blank slate for them to fill.
Right.
Right. And that's what it was. They wanted a blank black slate. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's good too. I got to write that down.
Blank.
Today's the title's day.
I know. It's all about the title.
Period. So how did you and Danielle end up meeting?
Yes. So working for Pizza and Pasta in Chicago Theater, we booked understudy roles at Goodman Theater. By the way, meet Vera Stark.
It's just like all these Chicago things. It's just like my whole heart is warming.
It's like
'Cause
Chicago.
I went to Lincoln Park High School, so I was right down the street from.
Yes, you
Chicago. So it's
were.
like, you know, Goodman is the Goodman.
It's
So
the
I was like,
Goodman.
yeah,
And I was hyped because I was like, oh my God. Like at that time, my only dream was to literally like sweep the Goodman floor because it's the Goodman.
Yep, it's the Goodman.
And you're like, oh my God, that's all I want to do. I didn't know there was anything bigger. So got this understudy role, hyped. And Danielle and I we crack up about this. She's like, stop making fun of me. But when I met her, I knew most of the people in the cast. I'm very warm, a very Midwest person. She East Coast. So I come in and I was like, hi, how are you? I'm LaNisa. And she handed me her business card and was like, hello, I'm Danielle Pinnock. And I was like, a business card? What's this?
Good, what you want to do with it?
Thank you. What should I do? And I kept it for years.
Oh my God.
I kept her business card for years. She was like, I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
She was ready.
She was ready. She's like, boom. She always ready.
Professional.
Exactly. So with Goodman, the understudy roles work where you have to stay there from the time your character says their first line to their last line. Our characters said the last lines. So we were in that basement together because they put you in a little dress. They put all the understudies in one dressing room. So it was me, Danielle Pinnock, LaRoyce Hawkins,
Roy.
in one dressing room. Just like, all right, y'all, still ain't going on today. It was wild. So we
Yeah.
bonded and we got to know each other. And thinking back then, that's when we started like, we were bored. We knew that show like the back of our hands. So we started like making our own sketches, playing our own games,
Yeah.
not realizing what it would become. Because then fast forward, she moved to LA. And then a year later, she was like, you need to just get out here. It's time.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Chicago's abused me enough. I think it's time. And so that's how we came out here together. And, I came out of here a year later and started doing random sketches, not knowing what we were doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not knowing. But Chicago will make you
Yeah, I mean, but
Dig
I
deep.
always tell people like the training in Chicago is so good because these are genuinely people doing it for the love because nobody's really making now it's much better than it used
Much
to be.
better.
But before it was like, okay, you got to be a police officer by day, actor by night.
Yeah.
Because you could not make money.
Yeah.
So the people who are doing it is just, they love it and are so talented.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
the skills.
Chicago actors be eating.
Yeah.
Be eating
Yeah.
down.
When I moved here, I remember having an agent meeting and she was like, oh, you're Chicago? Okay, I don't have to worry about you then. And I was like, what does that mean? Oh my God. And she's like, oh, you're going to come on time. You go memorize your lines.
You're a
I was like,
professional.
right. I was like, yeah, folks ain't memorizing their lines coming in here. What's going on? But it's that theater training. That training ain't no joke, especially when there's snow this high and you walk into the theater.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah.
That's commitment.
Right.
Was there? I'm curious about with your transition because when we were doing Southside, literally everybody who was Chicago based, not everybody, but a lot of people would always ask, "Should I move out to LA?" And I'd be like, "Well, I don't know if I can tell you, you know, if you should move out." It's like I was like, "Do you feel ready? Do you feel like LA is calling you? Like, did you feel like LA?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I realized that in some ways I met my limit in Chicago. Or I met the limit that they were going to allow me. And I was like, oh, this is it. I can't. Now, the joke is you move out here, they go call you back home. It's like, all right, that happens all the time.
Right.
But I was constantly being cast as the understudy. So I was understudying at Goodman, Steppenwolf, Looking Glass had called me. Like I was constantly doing that and it aided my self-esteem. I was like, am I bad? Am I a bad actor? And somebody told me and they were like, no, it's that we can trust you. We can use you because we can trust you. We know that you go show up. We know that if somebody falls out,
you'll step in.
You're ready.
Yeah, and understudy jobs are no joke. I was saying
No
on
joke.
a different episode, them jobs are panicky. You know,
It's so scary.
yes.
I was
Walking on
understudying
ice,
at
just-
Second City, and I was like, I don't do this. Y'all want me to? And I took over for role. They were like,
Yeah.
all right, congrats, you're on the main stage tonight. And that's a different world. You'd be like,
Yes.
so I just make up stuff. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I was like, oh, they see me as
Yeah.
that. They can't see me as something else. So
Gotcha.
I need to move on and expand my box.
For sure.
So,
for sure. And since being in LA, I mean, #booked is now an authority. I feel like it's a go-to for actors and
So
like
crazy to hear that.
working professionals. Yeah, like honestly, with the strike, I would always check y'all's page to like for the news, like 'cause I know you was gonna have an update, like
what's
oh,
going
And
on?
it was going to be funny.
yeah, it's like also they ate this.
No, right.
Also, the lunch
like,
was delish.
What was the lunch?
Right.
What was the lunch?
Yeah, which is such a joy to like get news with joy. So,
Yeah, because
yeah.
we be going through it.
Uh-huh.
We be
And what
going
would you
through
say
it.
when y'all started doing this? What was did you have like a mission or were you just
Not
playing
at all.
around?
We were literally
Okay.
playing around. I think we had like a bottle of Jameson, Danielle's cracked iPhone, and we were like, what are we doing? We're not booking anything yet.
Yeah.
We were laughing at the fact that we all had the same cardigans to play mom in commercials because we were like, why do we all have matching you know, if you
Right.
become a mom,
Right.
now you have to wear a cardigan.
Yeah.
The teenage of 27.
Right. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
So we were laughing about that, and I love our dynamic because Danielle is the type of person. So we're planning, and I'm like, okay, so we do this and this. All right, we'll see you on Wednesday. She goes, let's do it now.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I love that because her dynamic is like, we got the camera, why not?
Yeah, knock it out.
Versus like, well, is the camera right? Is the light perfect? I'm like, oh, we don't need all that. It gives you a freedom to just be. So that's how it honestly popped off. And then when people start watching it and like, honestly, I feel like one of the first times I was back in Chicago and this girl ran after me at the movie theater and was like, you're #booked. And I was like, oh, y'all watch it? In my head, still, I'll be like, oh, people be watching this? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's how it kicked off.
Got it.
But yeah, it was no plan, no goal immediately.
Was it also an element of like just you two just trying to get some frustration off? Or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were tired, over it, tired of being called in for like, you know, black woman that smokes, number one.
Right. 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 You see some shit, it's like interesting looks. What the fuck you trying to call me?
Yo,
What does that even
Interesting
mean?
yo.
Character.
What's
I
that mean?
posted on our page one of my first commercials, and I was booked as the ugly prostitute.
Oh my God.
They-
I want to slap
It
them.
says ugly prostitute.
No.
They tried it.
Whoa.
tried it.
And I remember like being conflicted, like, yay, I booked it.
my first booking.
Right, mama.
Oh my God, baby, what you playing?
Ugly
Double
prostitute.
whammy. Not just a prostitute.
Don't get caught up in the name.
one.
Right, but it's a job.
That
Yo,
is wild.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The things they be putting us through.
Oh, so
just like-
disrespectful.
So
Real
So-
people. As opposed to fucking what?
Right.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
It drives me up a wall.
All the time. I'll be like, don't
Lord.
call me real people. I'm a glamourati. Don't
Hello?
call me real people.
Hello? Period.
Goodness. Well,
Like, I didn't know unicorns was auditioning. So
Right.
what are we talking about?
Like,
Right.
real?
Right.
I
Real
am-
what?
well, with AI, okay, real matters.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so now that obviously it started organically and just like from our honest raw place, but where do you feel like y'all are going? Like, what's the vision now?
So #book is a show. It's a TV show.
Fantastic.
So we have been developing it.
Oh.
We had a deal.
Yes.
It went away. It's cool.
Uh-huh.
We're working on that. But we're in development for it. So
Love
we're
that.
working on
Congrats.
creating it. We're making it like a Laverne and Shirley as if they had box braids, and we're auditioning for slave number 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is the premise of it's our origin story.
Yes.
So how we started,
Yes.
our journey.
Uh.
So yeah, #book is a TV show. And
Yes.
we're developing that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's
Excited.
massive.
Speaking
That's
to existence.
massive.
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
All the
We're
way.
talking. We're speaking green
All
light.
the
Come
way.
on.
We need
Come
that
on,
in
titles.
2024.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
coming.
Yeah. That
Woosah.
process development. Woof.
So I feel like now, like you guys started early, but now everybody has a podcast. I mean, look at us, we have a podcast, right? Everybody has
Love
one.
it.
And I think some of it too is just, we talk to other people's like stand-ups who have it, and they're like, well, it essentially came from a place of, I mean, you need to be
Out
doing
there.
stuff. You need to be out there.
Yeah.
People have to see you in every way possible.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like having the podcast has positively affected your acting career?
Absolutely. I think like doing #BookHas, it's like we'll get DMs from folks that I never would have expected. And I'm like, oh wow, you're watching that too. So just getting our stuff is out there, so people have noticed. I think it has helped. I think you have to find a way to do it that feeds your soul and make sure you don't go insane.
Yes.
Because there was a period for me personally where I was like, it's 3 a.m. and did I post yet? I don't know. What should I post at 4 a.m.? I don't know. And I was like, yo, that can't be healthy. That can't be. I remember waking up my boyfriend and was like, oh my God, Snoop Dogg, he reposted our stuff. He's like, girl, it's 4 a.m.
Right.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Lay down. And I was like, yeah, but I have to repost this. Da-da-da.
It'll be there at 9 a.m.
It'll still be there. Right. So it does help, but I think you got to find a healthy way to do it, because it is overwhelming.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I'll be like, you know
Yes.
what, I'm taking a step back. I'm good.
Yes.
I don't need to put everything out there right now. I can't.
Yes.
You give so much of yourself anyway in
Yes.
auditions and your life. Like
Yes.
that's another way that you're giving yourself away. And for
Absolutely.
me, I just can't. So I'd be like, I gotta take a break. I'm sitting
Gotcha.
down.
Because I'm gonna tell you, because during the striking, I'm just watching the sketches. I was like, how they going so quick? Y'all be getting props
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, God
Fast.
damn.
Yeah. It's on.
Like,
It's
this is
like,
work.
It's work.
This is work.
It's
Labor.
straight up. It's labor.
Labor.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And I think
Facts.
it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
for like a class in 50 years to look back in periods like this, like the evolution of TikTok, Snapchat,
Content
Instagram.
creation.
It's going to be so fascinating. And I'd be
Yeah.
curious what we going to be like when we 80. Like, are we still trying to make a video?
Right.
Because that's kind of scary. Like, am I still trying to make a video when I'm like 80, 85?
Right.
So it'll be
Oh my
interesting.
I hope I'm
goodness.
lying down.
Wow.
I hope I'm sitting down
Right?
at that point knitting or
Period.
something.
You know, I want to
Yeah.
be on set.
Yes.
Ooh.
I wanna be
Yes,
on
in a
set.
chair.
And at
And
80?
Yes. I just did an
Yes.
audition and Marla Gibbs was in there. And I was like, first of all, it's the queen.
Yes.
Sis is what, 90?
Yeah.
She looks good.
And
Yeah.
she came in, signed in. I was like, first of all, why y'all making Marla
That
Gibbs
part.
audition?
That was
know
my
who she
question.
Just book her.
Come on.
Why is she here?
Yes.
But I was like, I want to be that. I want to be
Outside.
Right.
Okay,
And
working.
I love
Books.
that for you.
Hashtag
You
books.
like,
Down
nope.
there can't. No. No, I'm gonna be at home watching you.
Okay,
Right.
bet.
And I'm gonna be supporting
Bet,
you.
bet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From afar, I'm gonna be clapping.
Like, good job, baby. Good
I'm
job.
gonna sit my old ass at home.
I think by that time I would have
Yes.
ejected myself from society. I'd just be on
Ejected?
ejected.
That's
Like
deep.
eject. I am somewhere
You
in
in
the
a
middle of
mountain?
nowhere. I don't know. Eject.
Off.
On a
Over it.
different planet.
We might be. We don't know.
Honestly, we could be.
We don't know where we'll be in 50 years.
But you know, we gonna come
Yeah.
back down for your one woman show at 88.
Right.
Thank
I-
you.
I
There we go.
Hey, y'all, I got this one woman. Y'all be like,
Yes.
this heifer still working.
I'll schedule dinner dates,
Yes.
girl
That's
dates,
cute.
3 months in advance.
Yes. For my where night to send.
Yes, before my
I'm coming in 3
From
months. I'll be
Pluto.
there. Please be ready for me.
bring the tea.
Wow.
Piping preferred.
Having hot, please.
But yeah, since you guys were so like helpful, I feel like to so many actors during the strike, like, how do you feel about the deal that we have now?
I have no qualms about it
Okay.
in saying that I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I know there's a lot going on. We might get some feedback, but I'm speaking for individually myself. Let me say that again. I'm speaking for LaNisa,
Yeah.
Renee Frederick,
Yes.
only.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I feel like this is a starting point. We're gonna have to talk about this in 3 years.
Yeah.
Those that are saying that AI is something that shouldn't exist in our world is existing.
here. Right.
It is existing. So how do we get behind it? How do we now start fighting for it? How do we start fighting for ourselves in that sense?
Working with it.
Exactly. How are we going to work with it versus ignoring it instead of saying like, oh, well, it shouldn't happen. Okay.
Right.
And newspapers said the same thing about the internet. And guess what happened? Like, we
Very
can't
right.
be like, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Have I negotiated like that before? Never.
Yeah.
So I'm good with it right now. yeah, I love the strides it's made with hair and makeup, especially Black folks. That is beautiful
And necessary.
and necessary. You know, that's what, you know, hashtag book
And
started
late.
on. Very late. Like, why is it 2023 and we're still...
Right.
Yeah.
And you
But
don't know my
okay.
shade
And you don't know my... Oof.
or my hair texture.
The trigger. I just got triggered. But so look, honestly, I'm good with it. I think it's going to allow and make people pay more attention now. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And more people might be involved. So then when it comes up in 3 years, we go have bigger folks that are going to be like, all right, let's go. I'm ready to fight more.
And better data on how it
better
affects
data,
us.
how exactly. Us denying it wasn't going to solve anything.
And I think there's going to be more snitching too.
Snitching.
Yeah. Yes. By talent. Okay.
Ooh.
I do think so because I was at a commercial audition the other day and it was a bit of a mess and they were holding people had been there for hours, you know, like 3 hours. And luckily I was kind of towards the end of the session. So, and
3
hours. Yeah, people have been there for 3 hours now. I was there a full hour and I was confused and I was definitely like, all right, I'm getting ready to go home because I have children.
Right.
We're moving towards the end of my time. But people have been there for 3 hours for this callback. And it was like a mess. I mean, the whole thing was a mess. And so people were, you know, in the lobby, they're talking to the sign-in person and they're like, hey, so I know this isn't right, but I don't, you know, do you think they'll be upset if I say something? And the sign-in person was like, you need to say something. It's wrong. You're supposed to be getting paid now.
Exactly.
So sign this. You
What's
know
the
what I'm
rate?
saying?
What is the rate?
Right. And then what was right. And then so what was cool is there was like a bunch of other actors too that was like, you know what? No, I'm not worried about these repercussions. They owe me my fucking money.
Exactly.
Whereas before, I feel like the energy just would have been, well, I'll sit here for 7 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And there would have been nobody in that room.
I'm
grateful.
Not a single person would have been like,
Yep. That's why I tell people to
wrong.
sign in fully. Because if they go over, they owe you money.
right.
And they can't play with our money no more.
No.
Yep.
No.
So that's what I mean by
Wow.
snitching. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
more of people just
Yeah.
being
We're
like,
no
hey, I
longer just
deserve
happy
respect.
to be here.
Yeah. Or to
No
get
longer.
picked like a pick-me.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think we
yeah.
have so many other opportunities with content creation,
Yes.
brand deals that we can do ourselves. There's
Yes.
so many more opportunities in that way that we're not going to sit by idly like we used to and be like, well, I don't want to, you know, stir anything up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we're
I
going
want
to
them to
speak
like
up.
me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Over it.
It's like, hey, love it if you like me. You know, I'm here to do
Right.
great work. I'm here to do stellar work.
Exactly.
And I'm here to be compensated and respected for that.
Age
work.
always
Absolutely.
helps in that too.
It does.
Yeah.
I am
It
real
does.
grateful I did not move to LA in my 20s because I would have been a hot mess.
Yeah, that was me as well. Well, I waited, but you know, we have stories. They have stories.
You know,
know.
there's a range of arrivals at this,
Yes.
at this
Always.
table.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A range
Yeah.
of arrivals.
Absolutely.
But I'm
So,
grateful I came out here
Yeah.
older because I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to take any BS.
Yeah.
I know my worth. I know what I'm bringing to the table.
And I'm ready to
I
make
was
money.
a free intern,
Right.
so I don't. Bitch,
Yeah.
I'm a free fucking intern.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, and I
so
did
much
that.
stuff for free.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, being reprimanded. How you gonna reprimand me for doing?
Look.
some
but you
free
ain't even
shit?
paying me.
Look.
Right.
Period.
Right. Did so many student films that will never see the light of day.
Never.
Had people acting crazy.
Begging
Right.
for
Yeah.
content, begging
You
for the
gotta be
dang
on
footage.
time.
Like, can I have
Right.
the copy?
Gotta be grateful I showed up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've been in LA for a little while, what part of this journey, when you look back, kind of surprises you about like who you've become in the process?
Ooh, that's
From
a
like,
good question.
Yeah, from where you were at Loyola to now.
I think one, the fact that I stayed with it. I always tell people I know it was divine intervention. I know it's my ancestors. I know it's my grandmother, my grandfather. I know it's that. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, I don't think I got out because I didn't know how. I was like, I don't know what else I would do. I was in education. I worked in Chicago public schools forever.
Ooh, bless your heart. Okay.
I got my own Abbott Elementary, so we working on that too. But at the end of the day, even when I was there, I would make my kids read lines with me. I make my kids I'm like, you going to an audition? And I actually just had a few DM me recently. They're like, Miss LaNisa, you remember when you used to make us read lines? I just saw you on a commercial. You did it. And I was like, oh, they were watching. So it tells me like that journey was worth it. I needed to do that. And I think the biggest part now being in LA is how my box has expanded. Honestly, in Chicago, my goal was to sweep the floor at Goodman. That was it. I was like, I just want to do that. Now it'll be great. I didn't think about being a writer. I was scared to think about being a director, voiceover beyond commercials, because that's all I was really doing there. You get out here and they be like, go. What else you do? And you're like, So I think expanding my horizons was like, when I think back, I'm like, I never would have expected that.
Yeah.
I thought I thought Chicago was it. I was like, this is it. And then next thing you know, I'm out here doing other things. So I think just opening my box has been like the biggest part of the journey that I'm more surprised by and excited by.
Yeah. And one thing I always love about how you share on your platform in regards to this industry is you show all the different types of work that is available. First off, you ate that video. Was that Call of Duty?
Yeah.
You ate that. I was like, okay, that was so good. Just watching you
Call
do
of
behind
Duty.
the stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think, all we imagine, right? You graduate from school is just,
Right.
okay, I'm going to be a movie star or a TV star or
Broadway.
Yeah, or Broadway.
Right.
That's it. You don't see all the other cool ways to work in this industry that can be fulfilling and fun and little pops in here. And voiceover don't even take the same type of time.
Right.
So I just think
You don't even have to get dressed.
Yes,
That's
you
my
can be in
favorite.
your closet in your pajamas.
That's my favorite.
Okay.
Right. But I feel like that,
Yes.
we're not really getting that in the
No.
conservatory program. So I
Yeah.
just love that you share that. Look at all these
Yeah,
different
it's
works.
part. I feel like when I do go back, because I still think I still have a mission of teaching, but I realize that I'm not a traditional in the classroom.
Right.
doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how else can I teach? So when I do a guest artist series at a university, it's usually, or something like that, it's usually talking about that side of the business. Like, do ADR, go do dubbing work. That pays a cute little penny sometimes.
Yeah.
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 Do find other ways. Do
Yeah.
the brand deals now. Yeah, I didn't have that in college. Barely had. We had Black Planet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's all we had.
Right.
Y'all remember y'all Black Planet name?
I don't remember my name, but I know my best friend did my Black
I know
Planet
it's
because she
something
told me that
embarrassing.
mine
What was
wasn't.
yours?
She said it's
Hot
not
coffee.
sexy enough.
Hot coffee.
I like that.
COFY. Hot coffee.
COFY.
COFY. Okay.
Hot coffee.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
I know
Ooh,
mine was
sizzle.
ridiculous. Because I was ridiculous.
Outrageous.
Wild. But we
But
get
yeah,
that.
mine was probably something weird, and then my best friends probably changed it because they were always trying to make me be sexier, even though what were we like 17, 18? I don't know.
Isn't
so
that
young.
funny?
Yeah, and it was like, oh, you got to take different. We definitely did a Black Planet photo shoot in my best friend Brittany's house.
Yes.
Like laying on the floor. They were like
Right.
posing.
Posing.
It was like
Oh, I think
so
I did one like in the grass.
Outrageous. They need to bring it back.
He had a little digital
Okay.
camera and he had
That's
to plug it in.
Yes.
Oh, that is a good
Sexy.
question. I need to go find it
Yeah.
and humiliate
Yes.
myself.
We'll
Black
figure it
Planet
out.
back.
Black
Yeah.
Planet was
Bring
it.
it back.
Oh.
Well, with that, we're going to transition to a segment that we like to call Bootleg Fabulous.
Ooh, I love it.
Okay. And it's where we talk about it's where we talk about tips and tricks about how to make it in the industry.
Okay.
And in particular spaces. So because we have you here today, I'd love to talk about content creation. Like, what are tips that you have for all the people out there making their own content or that want to be a content creator and let people know they're here? Any thoughts? I mean, I can start. I have one. We talked about this actually before we started. Batch recording.
Yes.
Literally, if you have to figure, like, if this is a part of your job, which it is as a content creator, you need to make creating content easy for you. And so, creating days in your week or creating a series, like even with the podcast, we'll shoot a few back to back, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, it's not like, oh, every single time I have the idea. Yeah, sometimes you do want to just go and shoot it.
Right.
But sometimes you want to be like, oh, bet, I'm going to knock this out powerfully. Like about, 8 of these little sketches or whatever.
Yeah.
Other thoughts?
Well, in addition to the recording of it all, making sure that you have a batch of content that's ready to be posted.
Yeah.
Because we were also in a position where it was like the episode is coming out tomorrow and we're getting all the assets ready the night before. And it's like, that's stressing me the hell out.
Stressful.
So I'm going to make sure if we on episode, 30 on air, I'm on episode 33.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Being
Yeah.
ready.
Yes.
Being ready.
Yes.
I feel like finding your audience, really honing in on that. I think so many times I've heard people say like, oh, well, I want to reach out to everyone. And I get that because you think that that's better, but who are you really talking to? It's almost going back to acting training, being specific about who you're talking to, why you're talking to them. And from that, the information and the content can flow a little better. So I think being really specific when you're really pre-planning. Sure, you want everybody to have a universal understanding of it, but at the end of the day, you're talking to certain people.
Absolutely.
And those certain people will eventually get the other people on board. Because now we have people that are like, I'm not an actor, but I follow you guys because I love watching this journey.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we had no idea at that time that we were like reaching other people. We're like, all right, this is for an actor.
Yeah.
But now other people are getting it. So I think that came from us being specific in our niche and in our audience. So that's that's my tip.
Nice.
Mine would be lean into what's unique about you.
Love it.
And I feel like that helps you to be specific about who you're trying to reach. If instead of trying to come up with like a generic version that's very easily edible, for people just like no, like
the blank black slate.
Yeah, coming up with that blank slate. Like no, these are my colors. These are my. This is me.
Yes.
And I think ultimately when you lean into that, it will make you stand out because nobody else has that. Yeah. Like at the very, even if it's not good, if it's not whatever, at least it is unique.
It's you.
Yeah.
That alone. You know what I'm saying? So at least somebody can watch and be like, all the pieces aren't there yet, but there's a voice.
Exactly.
That's new.
Yes.
I haven't heard this one yet,
Exactly.
you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
love that.
Yeah, there's definitely power in carving your own path and kind of like dropping a pin and telling folks how to find you and where to find you. And I feel like that's what content creation is. It's just like, okay, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to magnetize all these opportunities to myself instead of going out and scrambling and hoping that you say yes to
and
me.
it makes you feel less
Yeah.
crazy when you get all the no's. We get so many no's
Yes.
per day. And there will be times that I'm on a high because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know my sketches. Oh, that was funny for me.
Yes.
I don't care that I didn't book prostitute number 2
Right.
for this show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like focused on something else.
Totally.
So it gives you a reprieve in some ways. Like, oh, I don't have to stress about that because I'm still creative. I'm still
Yes.
creating
Yes.
my own art.
Yes.
I'm
And
not
someone's
worried about
seeing
them.
it.
Someone
As opposed
else.
to you doing all these things. You shot all these pilots.
Woo!
Never made it.
Yes.
Nobody but industry insiders have seen
Yes.
this.
How
but
many
this is
self-tapes?
something.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
all the
right.
things.
Somebody's watching this. Somebody's seeing my
Exactly.
talent. Someone is
Yeah.
identifying with me. Like
Right.
Yeah.
And it gets
The
back to the
moment's
root
happening.
of who we are as artists.
Yeah.
We're not artists to like hurry up and be, co-star
hold.
number on hold or, we're not artists for that reason. So it helps you get back to the root of why you're an artist. And I think it feeds into then your work eventually. There are many times that I've been like, oh, that's relating to this new script I have. Great. I'm bringing that to the table now.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Well,
practice.
thank y'all for paving a way and showing through doing so that everyone else can see that, like, make your own shit, be transparent, be real, and like watch the magic unfold. Like I feel like that's what you guys have been doing. So we really appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And
thank you for your
being
sisterhood and
Yes.
for supporting us and
Yes.
being able to making yourself available.
Of course.
to us.
I was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get
it. Thank you for joining us. We are Unglamorous Truths. I'm Crystal. You can find me at _Chris.
I'm Chandra. You can find me at Chani.
I'm Amebit. You can find me at Amebit Bayene.
I'm LaNisa Frederick. You can find me at LaNisa Frederick or at #booked.
And you can find us, Unglamorous Truths, the podcast, at Unglamorous Truths. And you can stream our podcast wherever you find yours. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
#booked.